So today we are doing a bit of a different video, a bit of a more chilled out video because it's Christmas time in a couple of days. I'm in the UK, so I'm currently in tier 4, which means Christmas, my plans have been thrown out the window. But we have a big Christmas day on Duel Links, which would be pretty cool, you know, some videos then. But today we're doing a tier list of all the events in Duel Links because we need new events, and I hope this video kind of gives you guys a chance to discuss what you like about events, what you don't like about events, and to let me know down below what your personal tier list is or send me on Twitter, that kind of thing. So let's dive in to this, you know, A+ content. Let's take a look. So where do we start? First of all, I'm going to go with the generic character unlock events. So the ones where you duel them at the gate, you duel NPCs to get your currency, you go in, you farm. That's a solid B tier. I've got Blair's image here. For some reason the site kind of screwed up and really didn't want to give me some worthy thumbnails, but sure. These events are fine. Of all the character unlock ones, these are the most consistent because you always have a guaranteed way to just farm as much as you want, which is great. But some people don't like that, so I can kind of understand it. Then we have the roaming duelist events, and I've kind of lumped these in with the whole, the super duelists, and over time this has changed. Of course, back in the day, we used to get 3, 4, 5 brand new cards with a roaming duelist. Nowadays it's like 2, maybe 3 if we're lucky, and the old super duelists like Elegant Mai, Super Joey, the Yami-Yugi one, were really good, you know? They gave us cards that we can use in the metagame for those relevant metas, which we can't do now. Like nowadays, we get a professional Aster event that gives us barely anything usable for Destiny heroes, or the Hasselberry one, which gave us some evil tiles, which sure made sense because Xyz were coming, and I'm sure they might be good, but in that moment, they weren't very good. So as events, and this is the thing I've noticed over time, is that at least in the beginning of Duel Links, events were very much tied to boxes and to new things going on in the meta, and as we kind of got older in Duel Links, basically, Konami went, you know what, we can give them whatever we want, it doesn't matter, but it does matter, and it really does matter. Then, let's go for an easy one, Card Flipper Campaign. It's not really an event, but sure, B tier. It's easy to do, you just log in, choose one of your things. Sometimes it sucks because you're wanting the card or the gems, and you get the gold or the dual orbs, which I think I have 2,000 dual orbs now, which I don't really need, so cool. We have the Duelathon, which again is kind of just like a B tier event because you don't really have to focus on it. But of all of them, of all the ones you don't have to focus on, I think it's the worst one. I mean, we haven't had it in a while. I think they kind of replaced this with the mission circuit, which I think is way better. You know, secret floors, or you know, secret missions or whatever. You have every day getting bonuses. I think Mission Circuit is way better than Duelathon, because Duelathon they did use for character unlock events. I think Callan was in one, I think. Cyrus was, Rex was. So back in the day, they did have this this timed unlock kind of thing, which are doing with every event now. But back in the day, that was a first. It was a very easy way to get characters. We'll stick with Tour Guide next and go for the Duels Challenges, which I think is honestly a C tier. They're never really any good. Sometimes they're difficult, the reward cards haven't been great. Bingo missions, S tier, very very good event. We've got one going on now for Baby Tyrigan. Obviously the card rewards can change. I think we had Kiteroid in one. I think Kiteroid was in a bingo mission or Duels Challenge, I don't know, can't remember, but bingo missions are fun. They are a better value for gems and stuff than Duels Challenges, so of course we'll take them. Very very nice. And kind of going along with that theme as well, I guess, yeah, we'll do Duel Quest. Duel Quest as well is kind of I don't know. I'll go for A tier. Purely because of those secret rooms, which can bring a ton of gems, you know, as a passive event. Very, very good. You just play the game, and then when they say you've got to do certain things, you go do certain things, and you get your gems and whatever. And very, very good for tickets. If you're a new player and you need free-to-play tickets, it's very, very good. If you're not a player, then like me, you have like 11,000 of each SR card, then it's just more SR jewels if you ever need them. If they ever want to go back and do the card trader again, you've got some jewels, I guess. And now we're on to the big boys of events, I think. Yeah, well, maybe not. So we have this Carly's Fortune Telling, which I think is an S tier event. I love it every time it comes around. It's great for gems. If you get screwed, it's fine, you know, it doesn't take too long to get. It's just a way to keep you playing the game, and I think it's a really genuinely good event. Similarly, Carly Carmine's Duel Links Spotlight going into A tier. This is her unlock event, but we are getting a Carly Carmine's Mission Research passive event in December. Now, we don't know what that's going to be. That could be exact same as this, it could be this with more restrictions, we don't know, but this current form of the event, which is an unlock event, is very, very good. One of my favorites. Obviously it does take a bit of time to do, but I kind of like that. It's a bit weird because some events that unlocks that take a ton of time, I really hate, but this one, I really like, just because you could get guaranteed cards very easily, and of course gem drops are quite healthy, so if they do similar for the roaming event, or the passive event, then that's going to be a very, very fun time. At least I think so. To go alongside the Duelist Chronicles 5Ds at least. Then we have, let's go on to the DD Castle. Obviously DD Tower we had before, which was okay. Or they've gotten better. Let's be honest, they've gotten better with the DD Castle. But this last one was alright. I'm gonna put it at a B tier. This last one was okay. For what's his name? For Axel unlock, it was okay. They've made it easier to use. I think the older system of the Dimension Lottery was way better, where you had a finite number of spins and you were guaranteed everything. You could reset when you want, but you were guaranteed things, apart from the fact that after a certain point you weren't getting gems, which was not very nice. Of course, the new system now does give you the treasure chest, which is fine. Or not treasure chest, it's the lottery thing, innit? Which is fine. So swings and roundabouts there, but overall a pretty polished event. Cool storyline. It's fun to see tour guide. Cool. Then we have, what do we do next? Let's go to PvP events, because first of all, KCGT KC Cup is like an A tier, you know. Stage 1 at least is A tier. Stage 2, I hate, I don't play. The only downside to KC is that when we have it, it takes up the entire month, and it's a main event. There's nothing really else going on apart from maybe a dual quest or mission circuit, or maybe a character roaming event that's just kind of ending. Like usually, it'll be at the start of the month where you have a roaming event ending, and then you'll have it ending for about 3 days, and in that time you also have the KC Cup. But apart from that, there won't be any other events. What I think Konami needs to do is to give us more events within the KC Cup. You know, so we have the KC Cup to do, and then when you're bored of PvP, you can go do a fun PvE event. I don't think that's too much to kind of ask, and I don't think the player base would be too disappointed by that. I think the general consensus is that when KC comes around, it's all there is. And, you know, if you're doing your 5 daily duels a day to get your gems and that's it, then it's not very fun for you in Duel Links. As a content creator, it's not either, because that's basically 1.5 to 2 weeks of either dead content or reused content of KC Cup best decks, and you're just spewing out content you've already done for the past like 4 months. So yeah. It's a good event for what it is, good gem rewards, but can be better, even though it is an A tier. Now here's one is the Burning Fire Turbo, not that one, Duel Carnival and Duel Carnival and Turbo Duel GP. So Duel Carnival is basically ranked PvP 2.0. You know, there is no, the benefit you get from having monsters in that deck, you know, like currently we have dinosaurs, insects, and beast warriors, they get a power bonus. The benefit you get from that is not big enough to outweigh going in with a Shiranui and Invoked, well, you would have done, but like an Invoked Neos or a Desperado deck, you don't really get that bonus. The Turbo Duel GP would be really, really good if they decided to actually limit to synchros, you know? Otherwise, every event we've had of it has been Shiranui Simulator, which obviously now we might finally get a meta, or finally get an event where we don't see Shiranuis, but no, Konami, they'll just stop the Turbo Duel GP after this, and wouldn't surprise me, but in terms of event style, it's a really cool concept, the Turbo Duel GP is, but really poorly executed. I would prefer if they really went hard on making a synchro-only thing, or maybe using anime decks and stuff. it would be interesting to see them rework it into an event that's a bit more fairer and a bit more fun. Reward card wise, they're usually anime related stuff, which is fine. You know, they're usually 5D related stuff. We had Zushin, I think, for once, and Draco Quest, which is you know, if you're having reward cards related to that, you know, that part of the show, then great, very, very good. But the actual event itself needs improvement. Similarly, the Tag Duel Tournament, I'm putting that in a B tier because it's a event you can just do on your own, you can grind it all out. The major thing I don't like about this is the fact that they lock everything behind time gates, and you can do the first stages of these events within an hour of the event going up. Which might be a 1% problem, a problem for 1% of the players, but given that I use like maybe one dual orb refresh, it shouldn't be, you know? And then you don't want to use your whatever they are, your points or whatever, to go into play this event, because otherwise you're going to waste currency you could use for higher event tiers to get more rewards, which means you just run away anyway. Even B tier to me is kind of like the event is fine, the tag duel skills are fine, the fact we have tag duel skills in our level up awards is not fine. It's a completely different issue, but I don't know. PvP tag duels, as much as people kind of want them, would be a shit show, given how the dual Carnival on Turbo Duel GP is, so it's fine, I guess. We're getting one out in January again, we think, or I think at least we're getting one in January like last year, so we'll see what they do there, but when it comes around, you know what to expect. It's just kind of okay. It's kind of the B tier is kind of okay for me. Like B tier is just kind of like, you know, it does its thing. It's all right for what it is. It's pretty cool. And then when you go past C, just like, yeah, you really need some improvement. Duelist Chronicles. This is again kind of a B tier event, just because it does what it does well. Obviously, over time they've made it worse with the lottery reductions, which to me actually might want to put it in C, but I think it's fine, you know, going through the story. I wish they would improve it more and give us more in-game cutscenes kind of thing and do that kind of thing, but as an event, it's fine. You can do all the content pretty much day one, apart from the treasure chest, which is like 2 days later, and then the challenge mode, which isn't really that much better in terms of a lottery coin reward, which is fine. So I think of all the events in terms of time gating, the Duelist Chronicles ones do it best, but still a B tier, just does what it does fine. It's not too stellar of an event. Now, we do have a very good event, A tier, Duelist Chronicle or Duelist Road Clash at Crashtown. Of course, this was Callan's unlock event, which means it is a bit of a weird one because it is a unlock event only to his certain style, but this is what I like about Duel Links, when they give us character unlock events that really are different, you know? They're different from the status quo of just grinding at the gate or doing whatever. And this event was pretty good. Again, has some time gating, which is whatever, but in terms of event style, you know, doing the lottery, the roulette, whatever, choosing a higher challenge opponent was really cool. I think they've got a good foundation here, and if they bring this back for further characters, they can improve it quite a bit and maybe make an S tier event. But let's start filling up that S tier event. This is going to be a controversial one. Raid duels. Dimension duels and raid duels. I really, really like these events, and it's purely because I can sit here on my computer, on my second monitor, load the event up, and just click auto duel and grind out prismatics, glossies, tickets, not tickets, but gems, resources for free. And for very, very easy, especially the Dark Dimensions ones where you just need a deck of normal monsters, of Blue Eyes, a Dark Magician, and some equipped spells. Every player should be taking advantage of this event when it comes around, and just, if you can, if you're working from home, put it on your second monitor, press auto duel, get the rewards. It's well worth it, and is part of the reason why I've been at like 9999 gems for the past how many months, because whenever it comes around, I'm just grinding it out whenever I really can do. The overall concept of it is fine. I do like it. It is one of the only events, Duel Links, where things are just unlimited, even though you are doing a PvE duel technically. You know, you're not really doing a raid duel. I wish they would make it more like a raid where you do feel like you're battling in real time against a big boss. You know, like what game does it? Dragalia Lost, if you've played that, you'll know their raid duels are kind of fun, their raid battles are kind of fun. So I wish it was more like that, but I think it's one of the best events they've done, and if they don't bring it back after Dark Dimension World ends, then that's going to be kind of disappointing. But I think there's some good options with Dawn 1000 in Zexal World, so I look forward to them bringing that back again once Aigami gets his final unlock event. We then have Tristan Taylor. This one, if you missed it, was an April Fool's event where Tristan would spawn in Duel World, you duel him, and he'd immediately lose, or you would lose immediately. I can't remember what it was. It was a fun meme event. They haven't done it since. They haven't done an event like this since. I think 1 year for April Fool's we got some Blue Eyes maintenance sleeves, which was cool. And then we got this event, which was insane because people were asking for Tristan for so long, and they finally made him come to Duel Links as a meme character. Which was a fun mini way to bring him out. You know, it was to say, hey, he's coming, wait a little bit longer, you can get him. I wish they would do this more, but they don't. They don't really seem to want to do seasonal events anymore. Cool ways to bring back characters, even if they aren't going to be unlocked for a very long time. I like. If you could bring Misty in, or any of these other characters we haven't got. I keep saying Misty because, you know, Ethan keeps, What7 keeps like pestering everyone about Misty being in Duel Links when she's never coming. If they could bring characters out in a unique way that maybe they aren't going to be unlockable, you know, anytime soon, maybe they're going to be sometime down the future, this would be a cool way to do it. And finally, 2 events that I think do deserve to be in the higher tier. First of all, Monster World RPG. This event is really fun. We haven't had it in a very long time. You know, you go around on the board, you'd roll a dice, you'd, you know, do your placements or whatever, and you'd face monsters in battle. Had a very cool turn-based RPG mechanic. You know, you'd face the monster, you'd hit them with your dice rolls, and it was something very different for Duel Links. It kind of felt like, you know, when a gacha game tries something new, and they've never done it since. They just kind of left it there and they put it off the table, and I have to wonder if the general audience just didn't like this event, which wouldn't surprise me because it wasn't really close to Duel Links, but it was really cool because you could test out decks that weren't in Duel Links just yet. You know, it's one of the only events we've had that let us use pre-built decks by the Duel Links team, and you could test out Light Swans, Volcanics, Mermails, Insectors, way before their release. Sometimes it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks before release of a new box, which was definitely a cool way to build up suspense and hype for a brand new deck in Duel Links, which they haven't done since. And I really wish they would go back and, even if not Monster World, go back and give us the chance to play with decks early in events, which is kind of why I want them to do the Turbo Duel GP, but with pre-built decks. You know, if you know, or like a Zexal World event with pre-built decks, if you know we're getting a very cool bunch of Xyz archetypes in Duel Links soon, why not let us play with them, you know, early? You know, why not have a kite-themed event where we can play with Galaxy Eyes before it comes in the box? Could be pretty fun. And finally, assuming I haven't missed any of these events off, we have Duel Island. This is the Gladiator one, but Duel Island I think is going to go into the S tier for me. Now, this isn't because of the rewards, because the reward cards overall were actually kind of alright. We had Phantom Beast for the first one, and we had Gladiator Beast for the second one, I think it was. And those are fine. Like, Darius, I think, was played at a one-of in Gladiator Beast, so it was kind of worth it for this event. Again, going back to when events gave us cards to bolster up boxes, which was really good. But the thing this event is kind of known for is the first iteration, it had a gate on it on 5 duels per day unless you paid up. Like, it was really bad. The second one fixed this, made it a lot more friendly, and also it started off the 1 gem movement. This event had 1 gem as the only gem reward, not 1 gem, 5 gems, 10 gems, just 1 in whatever the method was to obtain. I think it's lottery as well. I think the lottery also debuted in this event, which this event was really good for some things and really bad for others clearly, but that's what people remember. But this event was, you would set a defense deck, a very powerful deck, as your defending deck. You would then go out with your own deck and face other people's defending decks to take control of their property, basically, their island. And your deck, your defending deck would auto duel against another person's deck, which was it was a very unique system of Duel Links, and it's one we haven't seen in again like 2 years or something. It's been so long, and it's been so long that it feels like Konami is just being kind of stale with their events. Like, look at these events here. The only new event here that's within the last 2 years is the Crashtown one and Turbo Duel GP. Everything else was in Duel Links prior to 5Ds, in some way, shape, or form. You know, Duelist Chronicles, of course, was. Tag Duels, of course, was. Duel Carnival was Esperobus rather than Leo and Lunas. Raid Duels, of course, came in with 5Ds, which is really cool, but again, my point is that they seem to be settling on, at least for main events, a set schedule of DD Castle, Tag Duel Tournament, Duelist Chronicles, Turbo Duel GP, and the KC Cup. You know, it feels like that's what's happening, and I don't like that particularly, because it just means that Duel Links is becoming more stale every single month. And it feels like you're playing the same game over and over again, which is kind of why I'm so excited for Master Duel. I hope they've taken some learnings from Duel Links and can adapt events to be for that game depending on whatever it is. I hope it's good. If you haven't seen my Master Duel video already, go down below, check it out. It's just me talking to the camera for 15 minutes and seeing what I think about Master Duel and what it could be, but yeah. I'm going to wrap it up here as my first tier list maker video, I guess. Let me know down below what you think of this tier list, and again, your thoughts on events and whatnot. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the Christmas video, assuming Konami does indeed give us the leaks on Christmas. Happy holidays.